Keys to Success number 132. I'm Martin Rutherford, Dr. Martin Rutherford, certified functional medicine practitioner and chiropractor.
Dr. Randall Gates, board certified chiropractic neurologist, also a chiropractor.
So, this past week I've had people come in who are doing almost they're in the area of doing almost all of the right things before they even get here. Everything's out on the internet now. People are coming in here. They're already on a good diet, although they still have gut problems. They're already taking supplements, and although maybe they're not taking the right ones. Or, you know, they're just, people are really becoming aware of the things that we're going to need to rearrange for them, fine-tune for them, add or subtract from once we do an evaluation and figure out a little bit more exquisitely what the problem is. And these are also the things that we've talked about for a long time as to what you have to do to stay better. You have to stay on the diet. You have to massively know your food sensitivities. You have to take your supplements. You have to do your brain rehab exercises because you have an autoimmune problem. Most of the time if you come in here, you've got an autoimmune problem, and you have, and the vast majority of people come in here have some sort of a fight-flight response going on. And those two things seem to be the key to staying better. But we're here, so it makes it a little difficult to find more keys to success when everybody's coming in doing the general stuff that they need to do when they're done. However, things seem to pop up. And just in this past week, I've heard, I've had people who are taking like 25 different supplements, and they said, the supplements are making me sick. These are people coming in for consults. And I said, well, 25 supplements will make most of our patients sick because most of our patients are autoimmune. They have gut problems. They have sensitivities. They're sensitive to a lot of stuff, and less is more. So this week, less is more. I talked to a gentleman yesterday who is a workaholic and a super nice guy, and he's in chronic fatigue, but he's a workaholic. So he has autoimmunity. When he has a good day, he goes out and he kills himself. And then he feels bad for days. And many of you are shaking your heads right now going like that. At least those of you for sure who are not on your maintenance programs, or those of you who maybe have never been through any of our programs. So, so that person exceeds their metabolic capacity. They exceed their mitochondria's ability to make energy because their mitochondria are not doing well because of all kinds of things, because of inflammation, stress hormones, poor nutrition, and things of that nature. Let's see, had somebody else come in and let's see, it was too many supplements, it was too much exercising, too many brain, oh yeah. I had a patient come in the other day after their first visit. And in our first visit, as an extended part of the exam, Dr. Gates crafts a mini rehab, brain rehab program for you based on his findings, to determine a lot about your program, like the time it's going to take, maybe the amount of exercises you need, and more. So this person came in and said, no, those exercises are funny. I mean, I really felt good after those exercises for the first time in like ages. I can't believe how good I did. So I went home and I did them again, and I felt terrible. I said, so how many did you do like when you were in here? And I think it was like 3 reps. Does that sound right? I think it was like 3 reps, 3 repetitions. I said, they said, wow. I did like 10, and I did like 10, and I did it like 10 times. So that's too much. So less is more in our world. Okay, less is more, because you want to elaborate on that.
Well, yeah, less and more specific. I mean, everybody's doing so many different things. You mentioned 25 supplements. It's all about the combination. Like we've talked about, it's all about the combination, the timing of when you do things. That's what I found. I mean, there's a gazillion alternative practitioners out there who, you know, lots of times they identify the problem for what the individual is. We just had a guy yesterday from out of the country, and he had been to many alternative practitioners in Europe and South America. And I really don't think that their diagnosis is really that different from ours, but it's how it's gone about, where then there's this shotgun approach of all these different supplements and medications, and it's just like a drug. If you're taking a Xanax and you're not taking the right dose, is it going to do anything? Probably not. And the same thing with the supplements, same thing with the diet. finding the right diet for you. I mean, we all know it. If we eat 1 or 2 foods off our diet, how do we feel, right? But how do you know?
I can answer that question right now.
But how do you know if you're eating 1 or 2 foods off your diet until you get to that place where we actually find the right diet for you? So yeah, I totally agree. Less is more.
And the first words out of Dr. Gates' mouth were specific, and that was just like a light bulb went off for me, because really the effort of filling out a 20-page history, the effort of putting you through that exam, the effort of doing the rehab, the mini rehab there, and then ultimately fine-tuning as you go along, is so that when you're on your maintenance program, it's very specific. So if you so for you, 4 or 5 supplements or less is better. And then that you combine that with the seemingly, I thought more American, but we are finding out that it seems to be embraced outside of the country, the more is better aspect of life. And the more is better aspect of the patients on their maintenance program, they're taking these supplements, everything's really good. They read about a new supplement that's going to be the new cure, and then they start taking more supplements because their neighbor said or whatever it is, and the next thing you know, they're not feeling good, and we get a call, and it's basically a matter of finding out if they have reactions to those supplements that have set off immune responses, or if we just have to tear them back down to where they were. But specificity is what we try to accomplish here, because when you have autoimmune cases, I mean, when you have autoimmune antibodies flying around your system, it doesn't take much to set them off. And so you want to be very specific. And those few supplements or a few brain exercises will synchronize your whole brain if it's the right exercise. And there's one lady online, I've had to look her up 4 or 5 times, because we've had people when I've done the interviews, the Skype interviews, and they will say, I've done this program, and I look the program up, and I keep, for some reason I cannot remember this lady's name, and I keep looking the program up, and it's like an hour a day. It's an hour a day to an hour and a half a day of brain rehab exercises. First of all, who's going to do that? Second of all, there's probably a certain group of people that would be okay for, but it's not our patient population. Our patient population is very sensitive. You do that amount of exercise, not only will you never get better, you'll get worse, because your brain neurons are very sensitive, and they're going to be set off, and they're going to create inflammation. And so less is more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, less is more in supplements. Less is more in your daily activities. I'm not saying don't do anything. I'm just saying, if you used to go out and run marathons, now maybe you need to walk a marathon or a half marathon or a quarter marathon or something like that. You need to tailor your exercise. You need to stick to as few supplements as possible. You need to do exercises exactly the way you're told. More is not better. I've been doing my brain exercises for I don't even know how long now, 8 years or something like that, and I can still only do 3 of these. and when I get to the 4th one, I know that I've gone too far. Okay, so less is more is the lesson of the week, and I think it's one that does bear repeating, probably frequently, because it's just not built into the lexicon of our society. So, okay, so we'll see you next week, maybe, as we continue to struggle to come up with more and more hopefully interesting keys to success. All right.
All right, we'll see you.